What's up, guys? Mickle here, and just when we thought a settlement might be off the table in the Ripple SEC case, we have Ripple's PR team going on the air and telling us that a settlement is still fully possible. Guys, in this video, I want to show you a critical new interview of Stuart Alderoty, where he breaks down exactly what Ripple needs to see in order for this case to settle. Guys, I think this interview is extremely important to pay attention to, because if Stuart Alderoty is telling you that a settlement is still on the table, guys, that is something you need to listen to. I'm also going to break down exactly what I think of this, whether or not I think we will get a settlement, and what will actually be inside that settlement. Guys, make sure to stick around till the end of the video to see that. You are not going to want to miss it. Also, with the XRP price action doing what it's doing today, guys, how could we not talk about it? In this video, I want to show you guys two charts, one that shows we have already broken out of a massive resistance, and another one that indicates we still could have a little more to go. Guys, make sure to stick around to the end of this video. I'm going to show you two very important charts that are really going to give you a better idea of exactly where price action is going to go over the next couple months. Like always, if you guys are new to this channel or come here all the time, please take a second to hit the like and subscribe button down below. It really goes such a long way in helping this channel grow, and it really does mean so much to me. I'm also pretty sure YouTube's trying to shadow ban me, so make sure you turn bell notifications on so you guys don't miss out on any updates. If you guys are ever looking for a great place to buy and sell XRP, make sure to check out the link for Uphold down in the description of this video. Uphold is an awesome exchange and one of my favorite places to buy and sell XRP. With that said though, guys, let's jump right into the video, and I hope you enjoy the update. Real quick, guys, MOO-MOO is an awesome place to buy and sell stocks. MOO-MOO is a regulated exchange with a great interface. MOO-MOO is also helping you buy the dip by offering a promotion where you could win up to 15 free stocks. Each one of these 15 stocks could be worth up to $2,000. So guys, need some more money to buy the dip? Go sign up with MOO-MOO now using the link in the description of this video. So guys, I want to start out this video and talk about something that I have been extremely happy to see over the past few days. Over the past few days, we have seen the CFTC and Caroline Pham specifically taking direct shots at the SEC and Gary Gensler. Now, the SEC has played dirty for a while now. They're a corrupt agency who is always looking to abuse their power. So I have been so happy to see the CFTC stepping up and hitting right back at the SEC. It's about time we finally have another regulator really sinking down to the level of the SEC. Now, the CFTC in no way really is sinking down to the level of the SEC, but it's very rare you see regulators take shots at each other like we're currently seeing between the CFTC and SEC. And guys, if anyone deserves it, it's the SEC. So earlier today, we actually had Caroline Pham, a commissioner at the CFTC, tweet out, "Thanks Masari Capital for having me at Mainnet 2022 and giving me the opportunity to talk about having the right regulation for the job." So right here, Caroline is directly taking a shot at the SEC, saying the CFTC should be the head regulator for the cryptocurrency industry. We have seen a ton of reports like this over the past couple days. Take a look at this by CoinDesk. One of the US legislative efforts is trying to lift the CFTC as the primary crypto regulator. So guys, this is very good news. We are seeing almost every new crypto bill being proposed in the Senate and Congress, making the CFTC the head crypto regulator. This is in stark contrast to what Gary Gensler has been saying at the SEC, but guys, this is a very good sign. Ever since these new bills started to get rolled out, we have seen the CFTC really stepping up and getting ready to take control of this market. This is a very good sign, because if you just see stuff like this, where people like Caroline are directly going to cryptocurrency conferences, talking with the developers and learning what regulation is going to be appropriate, guys, this is miles ahead of anything the SEC has ever done. Brad Garlinghouse was in an interview the other day and said that he was meeting with the SEC constantly, and they didn't even ever tell him that they thought XRP could one day be a security. We see a stark difference in how the CFTC is willing to treat this market versus how the SEC is treating it. The CFTC is focused on innovation and promoting a healthy market with appropriate regulation. The SEC is trying to destroy the market and limit its potential. I am so happy that the CFTC has been gaining a lot of power, and I'm so happy that they are willing to take this power. They're not going to sit back and let the SEC just roll over them. They're going to fight back, and it's because of people like Caroline. Guys, make sure to give Caroline a follow and and send her a thank you. Stuff like that really does mean a lot. And let's show her that the XRP army will have her back because she has had ours. So guys, now I want to move on and show you two brand new interviews of Stuart Alderoty talking about the current status of the Ripple SEC case. Now, Stuart Alderoty is the head of Ripple's legal counsel, so it is so important that when he talks, we listen up closely. Now, in this first clip, he's not going to talk about settlement. He's actually going to do that in the second clip I'm going to show you guys, but he still dropped some very interesting nuggets in this first one, so make sure you listen up closely. I'm going to play you guys both clips, and then we're going to break them down. I'm going to let you guys know exactly what I think of them. Guys, this interview is jammed packed with information, so listen up closely.
So first I want to agree that I do believe that this policy in the United States of regulation by enforcement is a failed policy, and it's creating havoc in the marketplace, and that havoc in the marketplace ultimately hurts the very retail consumer that the SEC purports to protect. I think what we're seeing is power and politics elevated over sound policy, and that is not a good thing. To your question, why Ripple? That is a good question. I'm not sure I have a good answer to it. What I will tell you is that the lawsuit was filed on December 22nd, 2020, on the last day of the prior administration when Jay Clayton was the chair of the SEC. The day after the lawsuit was filed, Jay Clayton left office, and within 2 weeks of the lawsuit being filed, the entire senior leadership team that was, I think, involved in the decision to file the lawsuit left the SEC. So why Ripple? I'm not really sure. I think we can all venture a bunch of different guesses. Maybe the SEC was tired of playing whack-a-mole with some smaller tokens, and they felt that if they could go after Ripple and indirectly attack the digital asset XRP, which Ripple relies on to facilitate its cross-border payments, maybe they thought that they can send a broader message to the entire market. But I think what they've learned is that if you challenge a well-resourced company, that well-resourced company can put on a very robust defense and really expose the SEC that what they're doing in this case is not applying the law. It's not a faithful allegiance to the law. They're seeking to remake the law, and they don't have the power to remake the law. Only Congress can remake the law. So
first of all, guys, I love Stuart Alderoty. He is talking so confidently here. I know that he really likes where he's currently sitting in this Ripple SEC case, and I think if this thing goes to summary judgment, he is confident that Ripple is gonna come out on the right side of this. But I want to show you guys what Stuart Alderoty has to say about a settlement, because guys, this is just as interesting, and guys, this is very important. A lot of people have been saying recently there's no chance of a settlement, it's not happening. Well, guys, Stuart Alderoty thinks differently, so let's see what he has to say about it.
Yes or no? Any settlement on the table?
We've said publicly since day one that this case settles if the SEC makes clear that Ripple sales and distributions of XRP and XRP's trading in the secondary market does not constitute a security. If they're willing to acknowledge that, the case settles, and settles very, very quickly. Without that acknowledgement, we have no choice to continue to defend the case, and we're defending the case not only on behalf of Ripple, we're really defending this case on behalf of the entire crypto industry. Because if we're not going to get clarity through regulatory rulemaking, and we're getting deliberate confusion wrought upon the market. If we're not going to get clarity through the legislative process, and there's some good faith efforts to make that work, the only other place where you can get clarity is through the judicial process, the litigation process, and that's where we're going to get it.
So guys, right here, we can see that Stuart has a smirk on his face. So does he think that the SEC is going to settle this case? I'm not sure if he even knows at this point, but one thing he makes clear, there is a settlement on the table. If the SEC comes forward and says XRP is not a security, your sales of XRP, those sales are not securities transactions, then boom, this case is over today. And I think that's something people are forgetting. Ripple is ready to end this case. They are done with it. All they want to know is that the asset that they know is not a security and the SEC knows is not a security, they need proof in writing from the SEC that their official stance is that it's not a security. Once they get this, they will pay a fine. This case will be over like that. The real question is whether or not the SEC is willing to give this to them, or if they're going to make Ripple go all the way to summary judgment. I've been saying for a while now, I don't think the SEC can afford the loss. I don't think it makes any sense for them to drag this case to summary judgment, because I think it just doesn't make any sense. They'll end up getting a fine from Ripple if they settle it, and they also won't create a playbook for every other cryptocurrency company to follow if the SEC decides to go after them later down the road. Ultimately, I think it makes sense for both sides to actually settle this case, but if there is going to be a settlement, I think it has to happen before September ends. September is when the SEC's fiscal year ends, so I think it makes sense for that to be the deadline for the SEC. I don't see why they would settle it a couple months after that deadline. If they're going to settle it, they're going to settle it now. Both parties have seen each other's summary judgment motions. This seems to be the perfect time for the parties to come together and settle this case. If it doesn't happen, I mentioned this yesterday, we're going to 2023. Either way, I think Ripple wins, and I think that's why you see Stuart Alderati with this grin on his face. He knows that Ripple has already won this case, whether they win it in summary judgment or via a settlement. It's on Ripple's terms now. The SEC just has to make the decision. When do they want this thing to end? But either way, I am confident that Ripple comes out of this thing on top. It's just a matter of time now. Now, if you take a look at the XRP price chart, the XRP price chart definitely seems to think we're getting a settlement now, or some kind of resolution to the case ASAP. XRP is pumping pretty hard, and the very notable thing about this is the rest of the cryptocurrency industry is really going down or sideways. Now, I've been calling out this triangle for a while, and it looks like XRP has broken out of this thing very nicely. I would not be surprised if XRP made a serious run to some of these higher levels, especially since we have finally made it through this massive descending resistance. Now, I actually wanted to show you guys another chart of XRP on the log chart, but for some reason it won't let me record my trading view screen. If you take a look at the log chart, it actually shows that we still are below this resistance, and that we won't actually break through this resistance until about the 60-cent mark. Now, with XRP's momentum right now, guys, if XRP is to rip, I think it will break right through that. But just something to know, it still does show we haven't fully broken out of this pennant yet on the log chart. We have broken it on the linear chart. That's normally what I pay attention to. Just wanted to let you guys know, though, price action is going to be critical over the next couple days. We really want to see XRP get parabolic like we saw back here. Do we need a settlement for that to happen? No, we didn't have a settlement back here. We are still under the current Ripple SEC case. We need volume to ramp, and we need a lot of buyers to come in. And guys, when this thing gains momentum, nothing moves like XRP. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this update. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did. It really means so much. And for now, Mickle out.